welcome to the latest start for 2018. This is Jack Haig. So we have 3 clips today. First one, Tour of Slovenia, Stage 3. Rafael Majka, Jonas Aguirre and Jack Haig are all here at the end. And we can see Majka's gone, everyone else is blown up. Basically, Bora just lit the climb up from the bottom, absolutely hit it, dropped everyone. And it's basically Majka versus Jack Haig. And Majka keeps attacking Jack Haig, as we can see here, and Jack Haig's the only one who can hang on. He had a real good ride, this one. So this is just before the Tour de France, so Majka's in top form. Just won that Polish national champion jersey, and he's just absolutely flying on the climbs. And here, so you can see Jack Haig's the only one who can follow. He doesn't attack, he just follows, but you can see he's got great watts per kilo, great power to weight, and this is what, when I first saw this, I thought this is definitely a future GC contender. Maybe not in a Grand Tour, but definitely 1 week stage races. He's quite a big lad. I think he's like 67 kilos, 1 meter 90. So you can keep up with Majka, who's probably a sub 60 rider. Here we go. Skip ahead a bit, and Jonas Aguirre is on the attack again. Jack Haig plays it quite smart here because he doesn't attack, because he realises if he attacks and Majka counters him, he's going to go. Because look, now Jonas Aguirre is in the hurt house because he just attacked. And now Majka's gone around the top, but Jack Haig's just following wheels, staying safe. It's quite an experienced head for a little youngster. You can see the gap starting to open up, You could tell Majka was slightly stronger than Jack Haig on this day, because every time he attacked, Jack Haig had to dig really deep to close it. But Jack Haig did close it, and then Majka waves across the road. But you feel like if Majka had just gone a little bit harder, if one of those attacks did break him, he probably could have put a lot of time into Jack Haig. But nevertheless, it's a solid ride from Jack Haig. He's talking to him like, I'm not going to pull a turn, mate. I don't want to, because, to be honest, Majka's their favourite. Majka should win this race every single day of the week, because he's a GC contender. He came top 5 in the Vuelta, I believe. Had some good results in the Giro before, so it's definitely. And Jonas Aguirre is playing quite smart here. He's just teetering away, doesn't follow any accelerations, and just holds a high wattage the whole time. And them two are just messing around. But it's more Majka, I'd say, is messing around. And then here we skip to the end part. I'd say this is where Jack Haig just misses. Visconti went early. Jack Haig's struggling to hold the wheel, can't really hold it. 300 metres to go, he's off the back and he's struggling. The other two now letting up. No one wants to lead it out, it's a bit too early. But then he's sort of like, you can see he's close to going. He's sort of barely holding the wheel. And then we can see here that Majka, I think, Visconti goes first, I believe. And then Majka just comes around and gets the win. And Jack Haig struggles a bit. You can see, yeah, here we go. Visconti leads them out. Jack Haig's still on the wheel, but it's sort of slowly going away. Looks like Visconti might have it. Yeah, Jack Haig's given up. He knows he can't win it. And then Majka just comes around and pips Visconti. To be honest, like, you can tell this is when you can tell he's quite a lot stronger, because he does win it quite convincingly in the end. But Jack Haig, I think, realised he was going to get third, realised he was probably going to do well on GC, so he didn't really push that hard. Maybe if there was someone closer behind him, he probably would have pushed a bit harder towards the line. But it was good ride from Jack Haig against some very solid people. You can see they can barely continue riding because they're just so tired. They need someone else to push them up the hill. So here we go. This is when his first World Tour win. Tour of Cologne attacks out the group, very select group. Sagan's been dropped, who's in the yellow jersey, who's leading the race. He goes. Pozzovivo comes across, and BMC bloke, I think it's Demarchi, comes across as well. This is sort of rolling terrain, quite far out, but Jack Haig's gone. Everyone else is looking around, like, do I want to chase it? Quick Step, I think, were on the front at that time, but Jack Haig's put a big gap into it. And then we skip ahead to 19.5k to go. They're just about to get caught, and Jack Haig gives one last dig, one last go, and you can see everyone else is on the ropes. Pozzovivo is fighting, he's trying to get on his wheel, he hasn't given up, and he almost gets back on, but you can see Jack Haig definitely, as it ramps up, Jack Haig's got a little edge, which is surprising, because Pozzovivo is probably at least 10 kilos heavier than him, 10 kilos lighter than him, sorry, but he keeps going. You can see behind, I think that's Yates on the front, oh no, it's not, it's a Bora bloke on the front, I'm not sure who that would be, and then Jack Haig's finally gone, Pozzovivo's popped, and he soloed it all the way home. This is a big solo win for him. It was like, 16? Well, he finally attacked at like 19k and soloed it all the way home, which for your first World Tour win is pretty insane, to be honest. Like, he was really animated the race a lot. Him and Yates were trying to go off the front of the peloton at any time possible. And he got his just reward. He got a stage win in the World Tour race. And I think, yeah, it was his first pro win, his only pro win. It was a really good day for him. Definitely announced him as more, not just a climber, but also a strong time trialist, which I think is why I think he could be a Grand Tour, maybe not a Grand Tour contender, but definitely a GC contender in 1 week stage races, maybe a bit of a Spielak, someone like him. He's thanking the team on the radio. He looks pretty happy because this is it. He's come from all the way from Australia to Europe to try and win World Tour races, and he's got his first one. What an absolute legend. And here we go, on to the Vuelta after this. He looks pretty emotional, to be honest. Vuelta a España, stage 17, Los Machucos. This has rampas inhumanas, I believe, which basically means inhumane ramps. It's like 25%, 30% gradients. Quite crazy. So he made the early break with Alaphilippe, Stefan Denefil, Javier Moreno, I believe. That's Magnus Cort Nielsen, sorry. But he jumps across Jack Haig. So he's driving across. And then they try and ping a rider over. They try and get Yates across, but Yates doesn't quite make it. But luckily, Jack Haig does, because Magnus Cort Nielsen drops back, which is good teamwork. So Jack Haig showed he's strong enough to break away from the group, get onto the front of get onto the gradient. So here we go. This is the Puerta de Alisas, which is the climb before Los Machucos, and you'll see in a bit, hopefully. I can't remember how I edited this, but I believe we should see Jack Haig coming across, and Jack Haig uses Magnus Cort Nielsen to come across because the two Yateses tried to get across, and Chavez, I think, everyone tried to get across on Orica Scott, but no one could do it because they were marked. But Jack Haig was allowed to get across. Maybe provide some help in the very end. Here we go with the lovely little building. I don't know what I want to see cycling, not buildings. It's like an interesting part of the race. Let's see the racing, please. We got to see some. What the hell is this cameraman? So here we go. There's still the head of the race. I'm not sure if we are going to see this. Sorry about this. But anyway, we are then going to see, after this part, we'll see that Magnus Cort Nielsen is looking a bit bad on the edge, but Jack Haig is going to cop across, which is a pretty beaut ride from him. So we then have Jack Haig is now at the bottom of the ride. He hopped across to this elite group, and you can see he's on Denefil, Alaphilippe on the front, Movistar man, I think it's Moreno on the front, trying to pull it, and Demarchi's there. And Jack Haig is struggling at the back. He's struggling a lot because he did jump across, so maybe, I don't know, he thought he might have a chance because he'd be fresher than everyone else, but unfortunately for Jack Haig, he's still there, he hasn't given up straight away, but you can see already the gradient's probably 15%. Oh yeah, here we go, sorry, Jack Haig has just come across. Sorry, I completely messed that up. Jack Haig has now just come across, and Magnus Cort Nielsen has finished his turn. And Jack Haig has 35 seconds to try and catch up on them. And it's straight uphill, very, very crazy gradient. So here comes Jack Haig trying to get across. Jack Haig didn't make it across. Contador came flying out of the GC group, 6.5 watt per kilo Contador. That's the rumour, which is just, not normal, as they like to say. So as you can see, Alaphilippe and Jack Haig. So Jack Haig managed to catch Alaphilippe. Here we go with some Froome dog, and you can see there's Jack Haig still struggling. Kruijswijk manages to he's on Kruijswijk's wheel. He sort of managed to get a toe on a lot of GC riders' wheels, and he keeps going up the climb. He's looking pretty comfortable on these crazy gradients, and he's a big lad. I mean, he's like 67 kilos is Froome-esque weight, so it's definitely not insignificant. And then he managed to finish 12th on the stage, which is his best result in a Grand Tour, I believe. And Stefan Denefil won. So cheers for watching. See ya.